bit starstruck with our guest today on the show, and that's really something. Now, let's see. Now, we have a veteran, a veteran actor. He's a dancer, an exceptionally good one at that. Look, I have gone for a dance competition. I won a regional competition, but then winning a national dance competition, that really counts for something. I mean, he's been there for a very long time. For me, when I look at a gentleman, he's a complete, he's a quintessential gentleman, right? We've got Yemi Blaq in the house. It's great to have you on the show, sir. It's great to have you.
Thank you.
It's great to have you.
It's great to be here too. Thank you so much.
Wow, I love that voice. We've got Yemi Blaq in the house. I love the way that voice sounds. Wow. You're welcome, sir.
Thank you so
much.
much.
There's so much to start, but then I don't know, where do we start from? Okay, let's start from dancing. Let's start from dancing. I mean, that was we've always known you as an actor, and we know it was a celebrity series. But then, how was that experience having to dance on Celebrity Takes Two?
It's rather sublime. One of those things that people just, you go through it and it sort of defines a moment in your life. Because I always loved to dance, and I never knew it was going to be competitive dancing. And then I got a call from Spirit of David, and they told me to come over, and initially didn't want to take it because I was working at the time. I had like 3-4 scripts lined up, but they said, oh, you know what, just please come join it. And when I researched it, I found out it was going to be a nice program. So I joined, and as things went on, week by week, we had good scores, and then at the end of the day, I mean, hey,
you came up on top. You came up on top. I remember watching our competition, by the way, and I really miss it. It's no longer on air.
I wonder why. It should be on air because it's really nice. People loved it. Nice family fun. Celebrities taken away from what we normally know them to be for.
Exactly.
Because I mean, hey, everyone knows me as an actor, but there are other parts of people that we don't know. And unfortunately, because we're put in front of the cameras, and we'll see us in that click lights in the limelight as doing one thing, you become almost mono persona, because what they know you as is actor. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. But the thing is, a lot of people are actually very multi-talented. I mean, I write poetry.
Wow.
I wrote my first rap song in 1989. I write songs, and I do content, and these other things, but you know how it is, because the power of the media is so, then you see me as an actor. So it's nice to see people doing something other than what we know them for. Yeah.
If you were not acting, what would you have done?
I would honestly be acting.
Oh, okay.
I like that. Okay. If you're not acting, you'd be acting. That always you wouldn't be rapping.
It's funny.
Imagine.
I would. I've always loved music. Everyone who knows me knows that when I was growing up, it was the one thing that opened me up emotionally. It still does. Yeah, I can listen to a song and cry like a baby, and it's something that I've always liked doing. Just singing. When I was in primary school, I had a really high-pitched voice. I wonder what happened to it. And I used to harmonize the whole school, and then my voice broke, and then I became a frog, and I just croak all over the place now. But well, I'm not complaining.
Okay.
And the ladies are not complaining either, so hey.
At what point did you decide to leave singing for acting?
It was not a leaving per se. I came to Lagos in 2005 to pursue a singing career. I had a group at the time called Roots Complete, and we had recorded a song at Sea Mountain Studios in Abuja, the same place that Star Plus recorded. We go back. Star Plus is like we're guys from way back before the Blue. In Futa, we used to do things together, wrote songs together, and so we'd written a couple of songs and we'd recorded them. And I was coming to Lagos too. My thought was come to Lagos, get the wherewithal, know what's up with the entertainment industry, and then release the songs and start doing it. And then I thought, okay, you know what? Acting is something I've always loved to do as well. So it's like acting and music is arts. So I said, I'll come into it, I'll do acting for a couple of years, get popular, and then use the popularity to drive the music. And then I got stuck. And so now I'm going back to my first love again. I'm recording material at the moment, I'm working on music. And initially I thought by this time I'd have stuff out, but I have a particular problem. I like to hear the music that I record the way that I hear it in my head. And it's really hard because You know, there's an interference between your head and the equipment. So I'm working on it now, and I know very soon it will sound the way, and I'll be able to put it out in the public and say, look, it's not for anything other than for my own personal fulfillment. Because if I don't have at least an album out, I will not be a fulfilled human being.
Oh, wow.
Great one, great one. What genre of music would that be?
Now, that's another problem. I hear that a lot, and unfortunately, I'm anti-genre. I'm not one given to boxing yourself in. I believe the music itself is a means of communication. I believe that the singer, musician, you know, whatever capacity you come for, is the medium, you know. So what you do is you open yourself out and you let the music flow through you. So whatever medium it comes through, sometimes you're hearing ningant, 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 it's a reggae, you know. Sometimes it's reggae, you know. So it all depends on whatever comes, you know. So when the music comes, you just write it. So I'm not a genre person. Sometimes you hear a reggae song, sometimes you hear a reggae song, sometimes a rap song, sometimes a pop song, sometimes it's a soft rock, you know. But I'm particular to poetry. I like poetry.
Okay, so now let's talk about movies for a while. You've done over 100 movies.
Well,
which role, which character has been the most challenging one for you?
Also, this is another question I've tackled a couple of times. Every role that I play is very challenging because of the fact that it is a departure from myself.
Okay.
When you act, the first actors, before they called, the thespies was the first actor, that's why we call thespians. Yeah, and then, I mean, well, he was not the first actor, but you know how it is. With recorded history, the first person whose name gets in the books is the one we read about. I'm proudly Yoruba, and my culture is rife with storytelling and art and acting. And so I know that before Thespies, there must have been some Baba Shodwale, Baba Kintayo, or some person who was, you know, But anyways, you know, but that's it. So here we are. The whole thing came forth. Sorry, the question again.
I said the most challenging.
The most challenging. Now, they called us pretenders.
Yes.
Because you are someone that you're not. And you're that person so convincingly that you make someone like you or hate you, depending on what role you're playing. And that to me is the power of it. Because you go out there and you're a bad husband and you beat your wife and you treat her badly, and women see you and say, ooh, wicked man, ooh, yes, they do. Yes, they beat your wife. Nonsense. I know there's something to give you, you know. And that to me, people say, oh, it makes me feel bad. It makes me feel good. That is gratification right there, because you've done something so well that someone believes it. You know what I mean? Someone says, oh, wow, this person's a bit act. I say, this person just becomes the character. So for me, every character has been. One character, though, was very complex for me. It was a movie I shot some time ago. It was the title is The Imposter. Okay. I played twins in that movie. Oh. Right. So I played twins. One of them grew up with his father, who's a man of means, a lot of means, had a lot of money. So he had grew up with class, and, you know. There's another one grew up with his grandmother in the village, you know. The intelligence on the same par, but exposure was different. So one was very, very exposed, classy, you know, and then the other one's a village boy, but that just was intelligent. Yeah. And then at some point, I had to play twin A, playing twin B, because some things happened, and they had to replace themselves. Wow. So A was playing B, and B was playing A. So in other words, I was playing 4 characters, because you know what I mean, right? So I'm Taye. I'm Kende, and I'm Taye trying to be Kende, which means that I'm not totally Kende, but trying to be. So it was a fracture of some sort, and I really liked it because it was good to. I won an award for it, and I feel proud about that.
Wow, wow, that's something. You know, you spoke about affective fallacy. That's what we were talking about much earlier, and all of that. Yeah. How which role have you acted that has been the closest to who you are?
Closest.
Let's say this one came to you and you saw the script and you're like, this is me. This is
wow,
the real Yemi.
It's been really hard because I think that as an actor, sometimes you are actually a better actor when you don't totally understand yourself. Yes, a human being is a work in progress at every point in time. And I'm one of those people that I actually sit down and try to understand, who are you really? Man, know thyself, yes, but it's hard to really totally, because you're constantly evolving with the information that you're assimilating, with life that you're living. You know what I mean? Right? So if you say, this is who I am, tomorrow morning you hear something else and trigger something else, a catalyst in your life, and you become someone else at that moment, then you have to understand the man that you became overnight. You know what I mean, right? So for me, it's really hard to say, oh, this is the one that I played, because I honestly have to try to keep up with myself. Because as a human being, inside, I'm always evolving per time.
Evolution. All right, cool. Okay. So now you've done all these projects, and you're talking about coming into music. Now you know there's been a challenge for different actors that have tried to do music.
Yep.
You know how it has been.
Yep.
How prepared are you to take on that?
I'm very prepared for it. I'm not doing it for accolades. I'm not doing it for anything other than my personal fulfillment. That's the first thing. Second of all, I do not think that I'm stepping into music because it's a last resort, or because all these actors here, all of them want to sing. No, I'm doing it because I know that it's a calling. It's something that I'm good at. You know, I've always liked the beauty of words. I've always liked the beauty of music. So I'm not one to write music because it's no. I'm one that believes in poetry. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, okay, look, there's a lady in front of me, and what do I sing about? And everyone sings about love, but love has different faces. What about betrayal? What about honesty and love? What about, you know, disillusionment? What about, you know what I mean, right? So for me, it's always about writing about different parts and trying to put it out there. So I'm quite prepared to take whatever it is that's going to come to me. But I honestly, without being immodest, will say that a lot of people will like the material that I come out with.
Okay, so you are a man of many talents, and most actors go from being actors to being singers. Do you see yourself doing anything like directing later, maybe?
Oh yes, definitely. It's something they've always looked into, something that's always been interesting, but it's also something that I don't think you should venture into without proper training. Judge Lucas, I think, before he started directing, was actually creating his own camera lenses. You know, he has a range of camera lenses out. He's the one that owns Dolby Sound.
Yes.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, the most important thing is that he still went for training, which is very important. So I don't have formal training as a director. Put me behind the cameras right now and say, oh, let's shoot something. Trust me, I'll come up with something very decent. But that's not enough. It's always nice to have formal training, because the truth is we learn the rules so we can break the rules. You know what I mean, right? Yeah. So when you know the rules, then you can break them with impunity because you know what they are. I mean, quote one of my guys, Quentin Tarantino. You know what I mean? He doesn't obey any rules. He's a truant, and he wins awards all the time. It's why? Because he doesn't really care. At the end of the day, you know them. Okay, this is how it's supposed to be. But the thing is, creativity has no rules.
True that.
You know what I mean, right? Because that's the truth. When you go out and you can justify your creation. When God said, come, let us make man in our own image, I'm sure there must have been some non-believers. This man, don't come again, Sha. You want to do something. But, you know, but here we are today.
True
talking,
that.
thinking, creating.
True that. Yeah. What's your best Quentin Tarantino movie?
Quentin Tarantino movie would be what's that vampire movie again with George Clooney? I'm very bad with names, but that was one of the first early ones. There was it was a vampire movie. Someone help me. Someone knows it.
Interview with a Vampire? No.
No. Oh, come on now. We have like 50 people here.
Quentin Tarantino.
Tell us.
If we ask them his best,
everybody is now turning their face around.
If we ask them his best,
yeah. But I mean, that's what Dust to Dawn. Who's that person? You've officially won ₦5 from me. I'll give you an example. You know.
Great. For me, I would go for A Hateful Eight.
Oh, nice.
Quintessential. I mean, that was the movie. Right? It blew my mind.
The truth is, creativity is just, there's nothing like it. I can listen to a poetry recital and cry. And I mean that because words touch me like that. I have a song that's coming out soon. It's entitled Significant Other, right? And I wrote the song because I pride myself on my vocabulary. And I think that I'm more than a nominal user of the English language, right? But the thing is, I heard the word 2005, first time, you know, and someone told me that. It wasn't anything serious, but and I wrote a song based on that. It's about two people who are in love, and it's a perfect love, but it's not because they're already in relationships and marriages. You know what I mean? So that's it. For me, it's the beauty of words. A turn of phrase, something you say that someone makes someone think, oh my God. You know, it's something that you think about, but you don't quite say it that same way. So words are beautiful.
Wow, can you just regale us with some? Just maybe an a cappella or a poem or something?
Okay, great. The song that, okay, well, there's a rap song I wrote some time ago, and it says subliminal messages, transverse the metaphysical, available to all before we turn diabolical. Only a few MCs like me still retain the umbilical because I work hard to exceed the material. My bloodline is from a chain of street poets with no name. I aim to strengthen the link by breaking the chain, maximizing my game plan by breaking into fame. Unmasked vigilante, no gimmicks, no antics. Just lyrics crafted in the workshop of a wordsmith. And my sorrow overflows from my eyes whenever I rhyme because the pain that's crystallized in my mind gets liquefied. And my pen bleeds for me. Life liquids unified. No more shall the sacred name MC be defiled. So,
whoa. They know what just happens there. Just like Obama, just like, boom, like, and I'll turn back just
that's it.
Like,
no need to say, don't say no more.
That's why I say you killed it. This is the time they say they killed it.
Okay, so I have a question for
Please
you.
talk
This
to
is
me.
kind of personal, you
Yeah.
know. You're a smooth talker, you rap, you cute, you act, you sing, you do everything. Ladies want to know if you're single or married, like very single or very married, or in between.
I have an 8-year-old son.
Oh.
And I'm married to the mother. So I was not married yesterday. Married for a while.
You're married for a while.
Yeah,
so.
but the thing is, because of my kind of person, my personality is rather very a tangent with the work that I do. I'm not one for publicity. I'm not one for the limelight per se. I love my job a lot, but the attendant publicity is not something that I really like because I'd rather just be a face in the crowd sometimes. It's just beautiful. That's why traveling abroad is a gift to me, because when you go abroad, a lot of times you can just be silly on the streets. You know what I mean, right? And no one really knows. Once in a while, you're gonna get the order, you know that Nigerian actor, let me take photo. But apart from that, you know, you can just be yourself. Yeah. But a lot of times, because of the dictates of, I'm a very carefree person. And so I like to joke around and play and be frank. But the truth is, the job still dictates that you need to package.
Yeah.
So you gotta package. It's important to package. You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yes.
Exactly.
Okay, I have one last question. You've been scandal free, right?
Yeah.
Yes, how do you manage that?
I pay the price. I'm just saying.
What more do you get?
I'm telling you, I'm just messing around. Truth is, my people have a saying, "Akirni korimami," which means that there's no way a human being walks without the head shaken.
Yeah.
So saying that you're scandal free is not saying that you have not done something that's worthy of, a few looks. Yeah. But the thing is also knowing how to manage yourself. Think about it. You're human, you're fallible, but try as much as possible to remove yourself from situations that are particularly volatile.
Yeah.
Because that way you don't fall into that. You know, because people are the big holes. A long time ago, there's something comes to mind. There's a story that we used to read in primary school when I was growing up. There was an elephant that I think they wanted to capture the elephant, and the king didn't know how to. And the tortoise, as usual, said he was going to do something about it. So what he did was get a really big hole dug in the earth, and he covered it with a grand, shiny cloth. And he told the elephant that he was going to be revered by the king. So he got drummers and everything, you know. And they said the elephant was going to be king. So there were big drums after him. How many jobba? How many jobba? And the elephant was dancing all the way. Then he fell into that. You know what I mean? So the most important thing is avoid those shiny cloths. Because most of the time, when you step on it, you're gonna fall down.
Yeah.
Wow.
You don't want to fall down.
Wow.
That's
Or
it.
down.
You don't want to go down there.
low.
You know what I mean?
Wow, wonderful. So apart from your album, what else are we to expect from you? What projects are you working on?
Great. I'm working on a project that's before the end of the year. I'm trying to raise awareness for hunger and the eradication of poverty and hunger in Ondo State. I'm from Ondo Town. I'm on Ondo Kiwa. I'm on Yemi Blaq Kiwa. That's cool. You know. So basically, I'm from Ondo Town, and I believe that we should try as much as possible to impact on our people. So what I want to do is there's a project that's coming up. It's going to be a long walk. That's much I'm saying about it for now. Involving myself and a few of my friends as well. And that is going to put a huge spotlight on hunger, because what I'm looking at is being able to feed at least 100 families every Sunday.
Wow.
You know, yeah.
Nice
So,
one. Thank you, sir.
yeah.
How do we hit
Thank
you up on
you.
social media? Keep up to date with
Please
what
don't
you're
hit me. I have black belts.
doing. Oh, sorry, sir. I didn't know. How do we follow you? Where do we follow you on
great.
social media?
My Facebook is Yemi Blaq. Instagram is at Yemi Blaq. YEMI space BLAQ. Q for Quentin Tarantino. And then also on Twitter is Yemi Blaq with a double Q. So for Queen and Quentin.
And Quentin.
So Yemi Blaq. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. It's been
Bless
having you on the
you,
show,
man.
sir.
All right, then.
All right. When we get